Hello and welcome to YHTV's Trinity of Life. This is episode 36. I'm Christina Suzama, your host of this program. Thank you so much for joining me again as I continue to explore the wonderful world of healing arts, meditation, therapies, and the many modalities that help each of us find balance in our individual journeys. We're also always excited to meet those who are on the leading edge of creating change on this planet. And today, we are honored to have with us an individual who strives to help others create balance in their lives through his organization, Leaders Causing Leaders. Please welcome with me, Kenneth Schwenker. Hello, Kenneth. How are you?
Hello. Good.
Thank you for joining us here at Yoga Hub TV.
Thank you for the invite. Timing is perfect.
Timing is perfect. Yes, I hear you have a wonderful event coming up this weekend. But before we go into that, Kenneth, can you tell us a little bit about your background and like where you came from and your history?
Yeah, I started as a filmmaker, producer. I have about 30 features I've set up and produced. And then I had an opportunity to co-found Bhakti Fest. It was an idea that bringing yoga and kirtan together for the first time in the desert. And I got on board. I actually named it Bhakti Fest and co-founded it. And it's a huge success. As I was doing that, I thought to myself, I said to a friend just out of the blue, I said, I'm going to do Leaders Causing Leaders next. And he looked and said, what is it? I said, I don't know, but I'm going to do it.
It just sounds great,
It
right?
It came to me. And I went upstairs immediately and I bought the domain. And then I sat on it until Bhakti Fest was over. And then I did form Leaders Causing Leaders. And we had our first big event in Long Beach. But over 150 amazing speakers. It was phenomenal. It was a miracle that it was pulled off. It was, it's amazing.
Now, so when was Bhakti Fest formed? That was
2009.
Okay, so that was a good 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Then. 4 years ago. And then when did you form Leaders Causing Leaders?
2010.
2010.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So we're coming up to our third event. We had a big event in 2010, one in 11. And this year is not a huge event. It's a workshop.
Okay. For 2012.
For 2012.
So tell us a little bit about, so here you had this vision of Leaders Causing Leaders. Something must have compelled you to name it that. And the reasons why. What was your goal? Or what is your goal?
Well, the goal was bring together greatness so people could. I thought to myself one day, well, first of all, we're at war. We're at war with Iraq. I'm like, this war is not correct. I remember when we went to wars, and my gut feeling was like, this is wrong. And now, of course, it's based on false information. It was a lie. That war was a lie, and probably so was 9/11. We weren't told all the truths from 9/11, and many, many other things.
I was going to say.
So I have a huge list here.
The days when we're not living in that lie.
There's a lot. So I said to myself, who are our mentors? Who can we look up to? It's certainly not our politicians. It's not our government. It's not, our religions. It's ourselves. Mm-hmm. And within ourselves, there are amazing people around us. And these are our leaders. And so I've tried to pull together as many great people as I know. Mm-hmm. And we did have a lot of amazing people show up. Stephen Covey, Byron Katie, Jason Mraz, the Engleharts who formed Cafe Gratitude. I mean, the list goes on and on. It was huge. So I thought by pulling together greatness, people would have an opportunity to step into greatness and for their true colors to show. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So some of that happened. I mean, it happened. It was a very successful event. It happened again. And so this year now, what I want to do is not just have a huge event, but actually really be causing. It's the leaders cause, and what are we causing? And that's why it's actually named Leaders Causing Leaders, because it's not just leaders leading. People go, oh, leaders helping. No, it's causing. It's like, who are we in the world that we're causing someone else to do something, whether we even know it or not, like the way Gandhi was. And these people are just so powerful. Just who they're being causes someone else to step into their greatness. Mm. So That's why it's leaders causing leaders.
Mm-hmm.
But with this leader, interesting now, I thought about it for a long time. I'm like, wow, I just don't want to do another big event. What do I want to do? And it finally came to me, I want to do this workshop. And I'm calling it Leader Sync because it's through synchronicity and receptivity and alignment with the universe that we can possibly create new solutions. Not from the old paradigm of who we are, but who we're being. And who we're being are really, not to get woo-woo, but we're divine beings. And when we're in perfect synchronicity, we'll be given the ideas, what to do next. So this workshop is going to be very fun and powerful. The synchronicity thing came out of a thing I did years ago called You're Invited to an Evening of Divine Synchronicity. And people used to come and it was very simple. We'd tell stories. We'd sit in a circle. And I did it once. And it was so amazing. It went for 3 years, once a month. People would come and tell stories. And I would leave every evening like, wow, we have all the answers. We're surrounded by love. We're surrounded by beings we don't even know. And it was powerful. So now I want to combine some of that technology or usage or whatever you call it with stepping into leadership. So that's what we're doing this coming Saturday. I've designed a workshop to start innovating solutions, and then that'll be in the morning, and the whole afternoon I have Kyle Hermans who's coming in who will be innovating those ideas. And he's an amazing individual. He's worked with Fortune 500 companies from Google to Oxford and just goes on and on. He innovates ideas. And so we'll be coming up with some of these ideas and innovating them. And then the follow-up will be, well, what are we going to do? What's the action? And that's why I'm very excited. And so it actually took a long time for me to announce this because A, I needed a location, and B, I wanted to get a membership thing on my site. So now I have a membership platform. So I think if you're a member, you'll feel more involved and you'll have certain, we're setting up certain outreach and connections and platforms to start activating work.
Now, are you a nonprofit organization?
Yes. Yeah, Leaders Cause Leaders is a 501c3 nonprofit.
And so, wow, that you got all that together fast.
Yeah, I was fortunate. I've always had corporations for films I produced, and I don't know, it made sense to do the nonprofit.
Yes.
Because A, people can give donations. B, it gives a certain tone in the world, like we're not for profit. So certainly enough money could go through our hands, but it'll be for the good of the world. And we don't want people thinking, wow, if we donate, there's someone sitting at the top of a pyramid getting all this money. It really goes back into the organization, which we desperately need.
It's quite amazing, what happened this last few years with the whole economic change and how it's just trickle down effect that has affected so many people. And here are so many people who are wanting to make change and who would want to be involved in some way. But how do they? And how can they?
That's a huge problem. There's a lot. I mean, once you go through the problems there's seeming problems in the world, and I've identified like maybe kind of 10 categories. They seem so huge. And I myself at times, I just like, they seem unsurmountable. Like, and so why bother? Or wow, I have too much to do. I'm too busy. Or, all those things come up. And what we want to do is start creating solutions where everybody can step into, because it's not that hard to overturn this stuff.
Well, I have a saying that I love, which is a drop creates 1,000 waves.
Yeah.
And it just takes those steps, and just if each person does that one little percentage, it's going to shift
in the same direction. That's a huge powerful wave.
Absolutely.
And there are thousands and probably millions of people doing great stuff in the world, and maybe not everybody knows each other, and it's disorganized, or there's amazing efforts are going on in the world. And
that's what's so interesting is is here's your organization, here's our organization, and we're all striving for the same thing, and yet we are in, we have our own little entities going on. You kind of go, okay, how do we come together? How can we all collaborate and support each other in whatever it, for causes, right? How do we do this, and how do we bring it all together? And it's interesting that it's almost like there is, that human, I don't know if I want to call it ego or whatever it might be. It creates these walls that prevent us.
Yeah, it separates.
Right? It separates us. It's like, the things that happen to us, as we create one entity to another, and, just the human interactions, the things that come together and also fall apart, that imbalance within the balance. And like, how do we keep it together?
Well, that's a huge question. And one of the things that will tie it together is money. Mm. I keep saying this, there's no money in peace, and it's very unfortunate. I mean, the military industrial complex is funded because there's so much money. Yes. To keep creating wars, to keep funding that machine. Of course, people are going to politic to have wars because there's so much money behind it. So the question that I keep asking myself is, where's the money behind peace? Mm-hmm. If we can find that key in making money or somehow, creating resources or money and generating peace, people could jump on that bandwagon. Now, one of the solutions with the whole food thing is people can support that because we have to eat. So there's a business around food. Mm-hmm. So we can choose to eat better foods or non-GMO foods and organic foods, and there's actually a business there. Right. There's a business model for supporting organic food. So we just have to have more solutions for supporting peace.
These individuals who come to your workshops and events, and you're attempting to create their awareness and bring, heightened awareness and education up so that they can become the leaders out there. I mean, when I hear leaders causing leaders, that's sort of my vision of your organization. Am I far from?
Yeah, it's correct. Absolutely correct. It'll have many, many forms. Everyone has a different view of it, but it's generally about creating amazing work in the world and having people step into their leadership.
And do you find that people come to your events and your workshops so that they can actually form their entities of what they're doing for what their causes are?
Yes. At my first two events, I mean, I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. So I just know people came and got amazing stuff out of it. What they did with it afterwards, I mean, I know some success stories. I know the very first one, this woman from Santa Barbara came and she was very broken. I gave her a scholarship, and her name is Audrey Williams, and her life was transformed. She went to Uganda and formed the Leaders Causing Leaders Leadership Institute. She's trained over 300 people. She has thousands of people who know about it. She's actually trying to make it here to this event. She's on the East Coast right now and needs some funding to get here. But that's one example. And could you imagine if more people walked away doing that?
Well, it's true. I mean, isn't it interesting, as you said, now she needs funding to even get back here. It's it's back to that funding.
And she's a powerful woman. What she did in Uganda it's amazing. And she's such a brilliant woman. So
did she form like an arm of your organization?
It was non-official. She just loved Leaders Causing Leaders. She started calling it. My first event was called Leaders Causing Leaders Presents Leadership. So she formed the Leadership Institute.
In Uganda?
In Uganda.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah. I mean, wow.
I know. It's like, it's really spreading the seeds out there, right? And just letting everything take hold and root in. Yeah, that's very amazing. So now you've got the film background, you've got the production background, many years of it, and you graduated in filmmaking. There's so many films going on out there right now that are to change the planet, are to change people's way of thinking. Are you not onto also that journey as well?
I might be. I mean, my filmmaking has really been more commercial type of films. My focus really now is, sure, I'll still, like, I'm producing a feature now. It's a great film. But my real focus is leaders causing leaders.
Mm-hmm.
I'd support anybody who wants to make an amazing film. I was just told the other day about a film, and I should know the name of it. There were three boys in a southern state that went to jail for murder, and they didn't kill the three kids or whatever. And I think 30 years they were in jail, but it was because of a filmmaker who started documenting this. They then got the attention of some big people, and they finally went to court. And they just, I don't know, I didn't see the film, but I was told how powerful it is. And anyway, the kids are free now.
Oh,
and it's because of a filmmaker.
30 years later.
Yeah, 30 years later.
Amazing. I know.
So films it's a very powerful media. It's, I'd love to do more. My time is just so focused right now with getting this organization together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
this event in Topanga, which actually takes place this weekend.
This Saturday.
And it's a one-day event.
One-day event.
And so people would come and spend a whole day with your magnificent speakers and instructors.
Well, yeah, it'll be me. It'll be Bill Sturley. He'll teach a leadership program. I have Gail from Nonviolent Communication. She'll be doing a little segment. I'll be leading the Leader Sync section where we tap into our synchronicity and start causing solutions. And then Kyle Hermans will lead the afternoon, innovating ideas. And then we'll have Maddie and Evasa Love in the evening with music. And we'll have organic food there, and it's going to be amazing. So, and for me, it's kind of an experiment to do this, to really start innovating these ideas. So I'm very excited about this Saturday. And I'm thinking that after this Saturday, I'll see what works and probably then try to take this to each state as a 1 or 2 day workshop.
Interesting.
And cultivating people who want to start leading this, to start leading the leaders. I see this as a very big step. It's like taking 10 steps back, but it's almost a huge step forward. It's really getting into the work of what we want to be doing.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, there's corporate greed, there's Congress, there's a military-industrial complex, there's food, there's water, there's air, there's our environment. There's a lot of stuff to start taking on. A simple concept, hard to do, but is, Congress is more powerful than the president. Congress actually determines what happens in our lives, and it's 535 people. Now, they have passed stuff that we don't know about. They've stripped our Constitution. Of course, Obama signed the NDAA. So the way to overturn all this and get transparency with the corporations, because of all their hidden stuff. I mean, Exxon had like $19 billion in gross, or $1 trillion in gross receipts, and paid zero in taxes. So, and the same with Wells Fargo, and the same with a lot of the big corporations. So who's controlling that is Congress. Well, Congress really comes down to the American people who we vote in. Now, in 2 years, the House of Representatives will change hands. So we could actually start finding people we want to put in office and get those people in office and get bills written to be signed instantly. I mean, it's that's the shortcut to getting major stuff overturned quickly. Right. But we have to be in unity and have a plan and action.
And action, yes. It's quite amazing. Here, I myself is Canadian, so being from Canada and not able to vote here yet, and I want to say yet, it's just to sit back and hear and listen, and to hear what people are saying just out there in the streets and on the school grounds, the parents and things like that.
And what are you hearing?
Amazing. Well, mainly complaints, of course. It's always complaints,
right,
isn't it? I mean, it really is. And I always say, well, and what are you doing about it? What is it that you are doing yourself as an individual to make a change?
That's a great question.
Vote? Did you do this? Yes, I cannot, but I will make change on another level. You're sitting
here, you're making change right now. You're
correct.
Of course, you're
and on a daily basis
Sure.
in the school system, taking part, being part of boards and things like that, having a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who do most of the complaining are the people who do nothing. Really, I mean, the more I sit back and I'm very still with it, well, wow. And
It's
then
a great
I do ask the
observation.
question.
Yeah.
I do ask the question, what is it that you've done? What is the one thing that you've done? And I tell people, if you can just do one thing every day, just do out of your consciousness.
Right.
Okay, be aware and do one thing that will shift something in your life, which will shift, your environment.
Yeah.
What is it? And most of them, they can't even answer that question.
Right. So we need very passionate people who have specific goals, and we want to work with those people and organize them and get people behind them and really get a movement together on many fronts.
Yes.
And part of Leaders, Cause, and Leaders is the distinctions behind a leader. And so we have a distinctions class that will be coming up in January, and it's for the people who'll be leading the new workshops. And it's really getting those basics of the distinctions, like authenticity, integrity, listening. Just really being in those leadership skills, because those are the powerful skills. When you have those, and the more you learn those skills, even if you don't want to be a leader, you actually naturally step into leadership.
Yes.
I mean, there's no transparency in DC. Imagine if people spoke and we actually believed them. Like, wow, they're really saying, that's true. We're really going over to another country because they think our oil is under that country. That's okay. So that's why we're doing that. Well, then at least people would agree or not agree.
Right.
There's a lot of.
Well, I think that a big part of the issue is people do believe what they hear. They do believe what they hear. They believe what they see. On television
lot of false stuff flying around, and people don't even know what they're saying. It's really, that's actually a very where do we get our information from? And it comes from the media.
Yes. And
the media is controlled by very few people. So what are we even believing? It's quite a mystery. That all has to, I want to start a truth campaign.
Do tell. If you can.
I can't. It's just a concept, but a real truth campaign. I mean, you take 9/11. To me, that's a smoking gun right there. Like building number 7. Like, how did that come down in 6 seconds? Like, and some people have ideas, and others well, I don't know. It just, nothing seemed wrong with that. Wow, okay. That building just came down in 6 seconds. It looked like it was professionally demolished. We can talk about it. I mean, PBS has a documentary on it. And I think if people were to know and believe that, just to believe that one piece of information, that maybe we weren't told the truth behind 9/11, as the government told us. Maybe people won't be able to sleep at night.
They won't.
And do something about it. So either people don't want to listen to the truth because we want to stay in our comfort zones. I mean, to speak out is not comfortable.
Exactly. It's fear-based society.
Fear-based.
Very fear-based society. I mean, it's very nice to see the shifts that are being taken place in a lot of the major cities. Where they're implementing a lot of the yoga, the meditation. A lot more awareness is coming up. In New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco area, but most of everywhere is fear-based. They don't want to know. And it's coming back to your organization. How many of those individuals they've taken the first step to come and participate, and now who will take that next step right after that to actually show up?
Yeah.
Show up. And that's really it.
And people are taking that step. I mean, Ralph Nader wrote a book called 17 Solutions for America. Profound book. Marianne Williamson had an event a couple of weeks ago called Sister Giant. women stepping into politics, into reform, powerful people stepping up.
Wonderful. No, that's really good to hear. That's really good to hear. Well, we hope to be able to keep following up with you on your events and how it goes. And, hopefully next time you're ramping up for an event, it would be great to be able to interview your speakers and all as well.
Oh, sure.
So that, we can also help to support you and spread the word through our, community and the different communities and sort of integrate everyone.
Yeah.
Back to that collaborative effort.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, we have amazing speakers, amazing people. So that would be great.
Yes, it'd be great to have them on, interview them, and bring a little more light and awareness on what you're doing, and what as it unfolds. Because I think we've all taken such major changes and shifts in what we've created, and we have to keep changing, don't we? And really taking advantage of technology and the way we can spread the word for each other. So just let us know.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll just put it out there that we would like to have a Leaders Sync workshop in every state. So I'd like to hear from anybody who would like to host a Leaders Sync workshop. That would be interesting. And I'll just start with that.
Yes. Well, maybe after you finish this weekend, it would be great to interview you and maybe some of your speakers.
Sure.
On how it went and what it composed of. And, when you gotten the feedback as well.
That'd be great.
That'd be really good. So is there anything you'd like to share with our audience before we go?
Any last thing? Just if you're available, come this Saturday.
Absolutely.
Start innovating.
And the best way for them to do so is go to your site, of course.
Yes,
leaderscausingleaders.com. Okay. And then the event section, I do believe.
Yes.
Great. And then they can register. It's not very expensive, is it?
No, it's very...
Would you like to say the cost on air?
It's $50, or it can be $15. If you become a member, then the event is free. It's $15 a month. So
okay. And as far as the day is concerned, it's a very full day from morning till evening. And do they pack their own lunch?
You can pack a lunch or buy lunch there. We'll have amazing organic food. It's in someone's house, and she's she has an amazing it'll be great organic, amazing lunch and dinner.
Oh, a very intimate setting.
Yes.
Nice, very nice.
It's a ranch, but it's a big ranch.
It's a big ranch. Well, that's very exciting. I wish that we could be there as well. But next time, when we have a little more notice, we will be there. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kenneth, for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us and supporting us on this new platform of education and information. We're always grateful for your continuous support and look forward to hearing from you on how we can support you better. We're excited to announce that you can now access Magical Medical Tour through iTunes. And when you are in iTunes, just look up YHTV and you will be connected directly there. Trinity of Life should be up and running this month as well in iTunes. We invite you every Tuesday live at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1:30 Eastern Time for Magical Medical Tour. Wednesdays for Trinity of Life at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Followed every other week with our new show, Flowing into Awareness with Anatara. And again, to learn more about Kenneth Schwenker's organization, please take a moment to visit Leaders Causing Leaders. There you can also learn about his upcoming event this weekend, December 8th, taking place in Topanga, California. And be on the lookout for any other events that he might be having. And also, we encourage you to become a member of his organization and create change on this planet. Again, thank you very much for joining us. And until next time, namaste.